Hello, everybody. Let me just put on the Twitter that we are live. Okay. So, unfortunately, one of our guests decided to cancel, and the other one, I'm not sure if they're having technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's happening, but hopefully they join us shortly. So, this is, it's difficult when you do shows with people who have never done a show before. Is that you? Oh, that's the article. Oh, okay. So, a lot of times I book people who have never been on camera before, who have never been public before, and a lot of times people can get stage fright, and I think that's what happened with the one person, and hopefully the other one will join. But we are going to plug ahead anyway. I'm going to share this and say we are live. And if there is anyone from East Palestine in the comments, please put that in all caps because of my blindness. Hopefully, either myself or Andrew can see it. I did post it in a lot of East Palestine groups on Facebook. So if you are in the area, we really want to make this interactive and give you a voice on the platform. So so let's get started, Andrew.
Yeah, so we'll dive in and talk a little bit about what's going on in East Palestine as well, just because since in the last couple of weeks, I know we've talked about East Palestine previously, but there's been a lot of different players and actors that have been exposed. Every day there's something else that comes out that is just like, wow, I cannot believe, from the fact that the railroad company was funding the tests that they were using to test the water, to test the air. And yeah.
And also I want to share what I sent to you in let me see this thing here. What's it say? Okay. The median income, let me see, of East Palestine is $44,000, which is not a lot. Okay, so let's put that into perspective. $44,000 is the median. Norfolk Southern's CEO, Alan Shaw, his salary in 2021 was $4,362,801.
And that's just salary. So, there's additional money I'm sure he makes.
Oh yeah.
Stocks.
So you're talking 44,000 to 44 million for one person. That's what we're talking about right now.
Jenna says there are no air water quality levels of concern. Wow, that made me dizzy reading this because of all the sarcasm font. Really went big on the sarcasm font there, Jenna.
And you know what? Shout out to Jenna because, and shout out to me and you, because Jenna is pretty much the most passionate person I know about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure residents as well, but she's the one who initially told me what was going on, and then I told you and she told you, and we had discussions about it, and we immediately covered it that very night. And Jenna keeps saying that we were the first people that ever talked about it, so I'm really proud of that, because that's something we try to do on this show, is talk about things that others aren't talking about.
And
So
shout out to, sorry, I was just going to say, shout out to Jenna too, who had displayed a lot of patience when this first was coming out with a Twitter account who was angry that she was politely asking if a particular podcaster of influence could share it. And the account was refusing to acknowledge even what was happening in East Palestine and continued to defend that podcaster. And I thought Jenna showed a lot of grace. You know,
I don't even know about this.
Yeah, I'll send. I don't know. It's somewhere,
Jenna,
but it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, and it was also like, wow, this account is not serious and only really cares about saving the name of a particular podcaster they are interested in than actually talking about the issues. But yeah, that's what makes Twitter such a great place. The
it's
revolution.
wonderful. Hey, you know what? People need to be a lot more attentive because, yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but there's a lot that goes on in front of the scenes that people don't pay attention to. But anyways, yes, thank you, Jenna. Also, I do want to mention before I forget, Jenna brings up something very important. She's in Pittsburgh area. And the thing is, Pittsburgh is not that far from East Palestine, Ohio.
No.
And a lot of people in rural PA have also been affected. We hear a lot about East Palestine, Ohio, because that is directly where it happened. But there are people also in Pennsylvania and also in other, outskirts who have also been affected, who, have not been getting any aid, have not been getting any wellness checks or whatever you want to call it. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that as well, because environmental, catastrophes, that goes beyond, this one, town. And we're seeing more and more of that.
Yeah. So, do you want me to show that video about what's happening in this that talks about what's happening in the skies?
That's what I was going to say. I think after what I just said, that's a perfect way to lean in.
Okay. Cool. We got it on the queue.
Okay, so here's a time-lapse computer model of the toxic plume of dioxin, which is created when you burn vinyl chloride. You create dioxin, one of the deadliest toxins known to man. Look it up. It's the active ingredient in Agent Orange. Now I see this plume is hitting the entire Northeast and some of the Southeast, from North Carolina to Maine to Nova Scotia in Canada. And it looks like it's even hitting Iceland up there. Yep, that's Iceland. And Northern Europe, possibly the Baltic states. Now, this model was run from the initial burn-off to the February 23rd. It's obviously not in real time. This is called the NOAA high-split particle cross-section. And I feel like there are some people in the last video trying to sow confusion by saying that the water can't flow upstream or up the tributaries, which is true, but they may pump that water from the Ohio River basin upstream or in the direction of a tributary to get to a town or a city. Here's the number of particles plotted. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, this is the best model they got. It's the simulation they've run, so if you're in any of these areas,
yeah, I'm in those areas
the best you can.
Me too.
Yeah, you are too.
Yeah. I do not see Vegan here, unfortunately, but shout out to her for tagging me in this. I believe it was her. That's pretty daunting. And, Jenna DMs me screenshots and stuff of those things all the time.
Who is that person, by the way?
What's that?
Who is that person in the TikTok video talking about this?
I don't know. I don't know. I looked through the comments and stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's a problem. They probably work for the fucking, for Norfolk or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's Pennsylvania is the second highest state with pipelines, fracking, all that shit. Our air quality is lack thereof is garbage. Our water is garbage. Like, it's so bad here. It is so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Jenna's in Pittsburgh area, as I said, and she sends me, like Doppler images like that, and it's just like terrifying. But anyway, yeah, Andrew, go for it. Do you want to show the next?
Yeah, so I just want to, I think, which is there one in particular that you want me to show, or because I can just go into
I am still fuming from that business who I share a name with, unfortunately, from The View, the most privileged, obnoxious, disgusting people ever, including Whoopi, who I don't think was on this show, but still completely insufferable. Why did I even watch this clip? Oh my God. Be warned. Disclaimer. You might want to barf. You might want to punch your screen. It is absolutely repulsive. So let's play it.
Yes. All right. Where is this damn video? Give me 1 second to play. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, about to pull it up. Breaking. Joy Behar says, is that how you say your last name, Behar?
Behar. Without the T, because she has no heart, because she's a bitty.
All right, let's just hear what she has to say.
Lay out regulations for a second, because it seems to me that the Republicans are obsessed with this notion of the free market, and they don't like a lot of regulations
because it means profit. When you deregulate, you get profit.
But I know
part of deregulation.
For example, there were very few plane crashes. Thank God. And that's because the industry is highly regulated. We have to pay for regulations and safety.
First of all, that the industry is not heavily regulated. The airline industry is not heavily regulated at all. We have all these mergers that are happening. And as we've talked about even on this show, there have been more and more delays that have been happening by the airlines. Thank you, Pete.
I was just going to say, thank you, Pete.
Right. And the fact that, as I believe Dave Sirota even covered, there was, I think, U.S. Airlines that was notoriously delaying money back to people who were missing their flights. So that I just want to point that out, because that is extremely false, what she just said there to begin with.
Standards. Otherwise, where are we?
Sorry, were you going to say something else? I accidentally pressed. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We're all going to go up in flames.
Norfolk Southern gives as much to Democrats as Republicans. It's a very powerful lobby that is trying to block regulation. And this train, to Sarah's point, 2 miles long with 2 full-time employees and a trainee on it.
And they didn't even need to. Because the last administration rolled it down to only one worker. They happen to have 2.
One thing I just want to say is I do think this was an unforced error by President Biden. It was 20 days before we had Secretary Buttigieg go down, 10 days before he put out a statement acknowledging it.
Yeah.
This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him, for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did in those days.
Showed up at McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need.
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo op.
Showing up is a big thing.
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
Okay.
Fuck you. fuckerson take the biggest fuck you and fuck all the way off, you fucking privileged idiots without heart, without empathy. When you are president of everyone. I don't give a fuck. Furthermore, Biden has people in his cabinet who worked for Raytheon, okay? So fucking check yourselves. Also, Biden put so much money into fucking, gas, fuel, fracking, pipelines, all that shit. Don't act like you're environmentalist, because you're fucking not, okay? I have not been this fucking disgusted in a long time. They are so egregious. Fuck you. Like, that is so fucking ignorant. Like, when people in Texas go through natural disasters and there's people like with their cars floating in the fucking street and their houses are like breaking down into rubble and they're like, they voted for Trump. What the fuck is Biden doing to help? Please tell me, what is he doing? Because I haven't even seen his ass there. So what is he doing? He's going to meet with Zelensky for the 50th time? That's what he's doing? When people here are going through literally a fucking catastrophe? And you're saying, I believe he is a president for all people. You have serious cognitive dissonance, and it is sad as fuck. And none of you should be on TV talking to people who are impressionable and have no other source of like media. And you're just preaching to people like fucking talking heads who are millionaires, first of all. So for you to say to a town that has $44,000 median income, and then you're going there as millionaires and saying, well, you voted for Trump. Fuck you. Fuck you. Period.
And sadly, I don't watch The View that much, so I don't really know, besides Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, I really don't know who's on there anymore. But I believe the one woman who was responding to Joy Behar is like supposed to be like the conservative on there, right? Because the whole idea is, right, they have like
Bush. It's W's daughter.
Oh, that's her?
I think so.
Oh, wow. So that's like, and it's like, why is she making the most sense in this case where she literally had the most measured response there. And I'm like, why am I agreeing with you? Because I'm sure you're an egregious person. Like the whole thing that she says, thank you, Miguel. Who the fuck watches The View? I don't fucking know. Oh
my God, I wish people stopped.
There's a good amount of people who do. Yeah. But I think one of the things that was really notable there is that, we mentioned, of course, Trump coming over there was a photo op. We all know Trump does not give a shit. We all know that he put so many regulations in place that made that shit worse, right? But Joyce says it's a low bar. Okay. What is he competing against, though? He's competing against a president who really did not even mention it until recently being questioned about it. The only reason why...
He said 10 days later.
Yeah, 10 days later. And you actually have Trump that came, right? And when you're that desperate and you don't have time to actually be thinking about, like, okay, getting into all the policy like that because you're fucking traumatized. You have all this shit that's happening to you. So you're going to see somebody coming into your town, at least giving out some water bottles and maybe even some food, right? Which he did in a very kind of weird way, but he did that.
No paper towels this time.
And Joyce says that's a low bar. Well, who's making it a low bar? President Biden, who's not coming at all. Right. And so this is what is, I think, my final point on this is that this is what we mean when we say neoliberalism breeds fascism. Right. This right here. right? Because they are neoliberal, like in terms of this, Joe Biden is ignoring it. And then someone like Trump is acknowledging it in a very superficial way, isn't going to do anything. But when you're that desperate, that's what you see. And then you're going to think that that person's on your side.
This is 2016. What happened? Trump went to rural places in my state too, in Pennsylvania. Queen Hillary couldn't be caught dead. She canceled her last debates, her last appearances. She skipped several states. My state went to Trump. Because there are so many rural people who all they wanted to talk about was jobs, unions, pay, vacation time. And guess who came and talked to them? Trump. Just like these people, they have no hope right now. They're going through so much shit. And trust me, if I were in that position, I would definitely make note of who cared enough to come and who didn't. And yeah, it was for photo ops. I get it. That's how all politicians are. But the fact of the matter is, Biden can't even be bothered to show up for a fucking photo op.
And here's the thing, right? This could have been such a layup for Democrats to point out when they were running, right? Look how much Trump has deregulated the railroad industry. And this is what we are going to do to make it better, right? But they didn't even think about doing that because these railroad companies donate to both parties. And so this is them working in tandem with each other. Of course, Trump went just for a photo op. And this is what we have from Biden here. When asked about visiting East Palestine.
I did a whole video. What the hell? On Zoom. All I see every time I think of Zoom is that song in my generation. Who's Zoom and who? Wait, let me answer the question. The answer is that I had a long meeting with my team and what they're doing. We were there 2 hours after the transit down. 2 hours. I've spoken with every single major figure in both Pennsylvania and in Ohio. And so the idea that we're not engaged is simply not there. And initially, there was not a request for me to go out, even before I was heading over to speak. So, keeping very close tabs on it.
Okay, Jack. So you lying dog-faced pony soldier. You literally just said you fucking sat on a Zoom for 2 hours. 2 hours! 2 hours. Wow. And that was your contribution, and you're bragging about that, and you're making it seem like it's like the most incredible thing. Dude, you have a fucking private airplane. You could go there and leave in the same fucking day. And yeah, it's photo ops. I get it. But at the same time, he can't even be bothered to do a fucking photo op. And for a politician, they are always down to do photo ops. So that's bad. If he's not even taking the opportunity to be like, look, I care about the poors. That's fucking bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably in his fucking classified documents.
And so this is interesting because I think I want to show what a couple of the people who are living in East Palestine had to say about some of this. So give me 1 second just to share it. So this is from More Perfect Union, right? While Trump was doing photo ops in East Palestine last week, we were talking to his supporters in town about Norfolk Southern with Hey John Russell. Turns out they want more government action to hold corporations accountable, not less. Full story to come. So here, let me just share this as well. And yeah, I mean, I do think one thing that is important to talk about too that we haven't gotten to is Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, has also done an absolutely terrible job. He claimed that Biden called him asking for help and then said that he hasn't called him back because they were doing okay, then denied that he did that. And
right. Even though it's on video.
Right. So he should resign too.
Mm-hmm.
It really is just showing the failure of the duopoly in this case.
And where the fuck is my governor of Pennsylvania? Because like I said, it's on PA state lines. A lot of people in Pennsylvania rural sections are also being, affected by this. My governor, I don't fucking know where the hell he is. He was just elected, so he already got people's votes.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be one of the most progressive governors.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
that's why I didn't vote for his ass, because I knew that shit was a fucking lie.
Yeah.
On a left side or a right side or this and back and forth. We're not tired of it's that. Not about it's about our town now and people not being able to drink the water, about kids having rations. It's about this thing. That's what this is about.
Norfolk Southern. What do they really owe this community?
They owe this community a lot. They owe us property value. They owe us our health. They owe us 5-10 years from now when things are going on.
The company that's owned by J.P. Morgan, Vanguard, and BlackRock. Alan Shaw's a pawn. So he's a pawn. He makes $8 million a year. $8 million a year. He lives in an 8,000-foot square mansion. He doesn't care about the people.
They're going to make their money, man. The trains are going to roll no matter what. Whether we're here or not, we're just ants to them. Industrial accidents can be prevented. Every industrial accident that's ever happened in the country can be prevented. Preventative maintenance.
Trump in 2018, I get the policies. The policies weren't great. That's fine. And you know what? If Trump has to take a little bit of the blame, I'm good with that. But you know what? This administration has had the House, the Senate, the presidency for the last 2 years. They changed a lot of policies.
And
They
imposed the contract and stopped the rail workers from striking. I mean, tell me a little bit. Do you feel like the rail workers should have struck?
Absolutely, they should have, because of what has happened.
If Donald Trump was in power right now, what kind of things would you expect him to do to make a situation like this right?
Well, it's not about what I would expect Donald Trump to do. It's about what I would expect the leader of our country to do. And if Donald Trump was here to do something, if he was the president, I would expect him to do the same thing that Biden would do. And that would be to come in here and fix up what needs to be fixed up.
We're not wealthy. We're not the top 1%, but
right.
We just want.
We're not after for money. We're after for fixing so we can stay where we've lived forever.
Yeah.
So here's kind of
everyone needs to fucking watch that. Everyone. Yeah. They are the most reasonable people. Like they are so reasonable. Those are the people I can have discussions with.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if they are Republicans. I don't give a fuck if they voted for Trump. These are people who are making the sense right now.
And listen, I'm sure there are plenty of things that I would disagree with them on, right? Politically. However, one of the things I do find very refreshing is getting out of this cult thinking, right? They were willing to take a step back and very well talk about and articulate the corruption, right? Clearly they have done some research. They understand some of the levels of corruption that they are suffering from. And the fact that they were able to be like, look, yeah, I mean, I voted for Trump, but this is his problem too. And it makes me just wish that some people on the left, some liberals could do the same thing when something wrong happens with Biden, right? Or when it comes to even people, on the Twitter online left that I see, right? Where it's like, you're so connected to this one person, right? Whether it's a podcaster you like, right? You can't see the fact when it's like, okay, maybe this person that I hold up to a high esteem is wrong, because you know what? They're a fucking human being like everyone else, right? And so that is what I found refreshing the more we can have that mindset, the more we can actually all make progress together so that we can, actually do things better. So, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things I really noticed that was not, not like I think a lot of Trump voters are lumped in with Trump supporters. And Trump supporters are racist Nazis and things like that. And I think, you look at people like this, they're people you can have a conversation with. I don't see any hatred in these people at all. And I think when you demonize millions of people voted for Trump. So you are demonizing like half this country, and it's fucked up. And I think the fact that they're so logical, because when the guy said, how do you think Donald Trump would have handled this, and he said, I would expect everyone who's the leader to handle it the same way, just like I would expect mine. Now, if he were this Trump sycophant, he would have been like, Trump would have handled it. Trump would have gave us all money. Trump would have been here and he would have bought us all mansions and blah, blah, blah. Like, he was realistic about it. And he was nonpartisan about it. And that is the most logical way to think about things like this.
Yeah. And I really like that point that you brought up when it comes to the Trump supporter versus the person who may have voted for Trump, right? I think part of it, and we've seen so many different videos where, it's easy to get views when you're just like, okay, we're going to go to this rally, right? We're going to go to this Trump rally and just like record the stupidest people who have talked, which I am sure there's a lot of stupid people that attend some of these rallies. But I think one thing that we're missing from the information is that some people who attend rallies don't necessarily represent just the common person that you see on the street, right? Because if you go to a rally, you are a fanatic within itself, right? It's like going to some Comic-Con type of, festival, right? And talking to someone there, they're going to obviously be much more obsessed with something like that topic than many other people are, right? And so
I have seen some fucking fanatical people at Hillary rallies. Holy shit. Maybe there wasn't like straight up like, racist name calling and stuff, but holy shit. I saw a guy throw a chair at a disabled woman. Like, holy shit. There was some ugliness shit. I had fucking at the convention, I had Hillary supporters spit on me, and I had them take signs out of my hand and rip them up, just like several other people. Like, they are nasty. But again, those are certain people. And yeah. I'll just stop there. Fuck Hillary, but yeah.
There's certain people, yeah. No, for sure. And that's not to say, too, I mean, like when we talk about people who, voted for Hillary, right? Like, yeah, there are a lot of people who voted for Hillary. They're shitty. There are some that just like maybe were not as informed when you talk about issue by issue. They come around and see it, right? And that's where the whole conversation comes into place and like trying to be like, okay, what do we want, right?
And that's the thing. Like, we have a very bipolar duopoly in America. So a lot of people voted for Hillary because they didn't want Trump, not because they fucking liked her. A lot of people voted for Trump because they hate Biden. That is a lot of how our country works. They hated Obama, and Biden's connected to him. They voted for Trump. I mean, and this is not rationalizing any of the ugliness at all. Like, at all. I am completely, like, nonviolent. I am non-racist. All of those things. But I'm trying to make the point that everyone does not fit in this one group that people so often, lump people into. If you're a Republican, you're obviously a racist Nazi. Well, think about your neighbors, your friends, your family members? Is every single one of them who's a Republican or votes Republican or racist Nazi? That would suck. Like
There's
that
a
would
couple in my. There's a couple family members of mine who would fit that, but yeah,
mine are
not
just
all.
not. They're just like. I mean, we gotta keep in mind, you know, especially for the older generations. Like the Democrats are the ones that were the party of the fucking KKK. I mean, so it's not like, you know, there's no racism in the Dems. There definitely is. So I think, you know, that's why I hate labels so much. Like, I am no party preference. I am independent, and that's it. I don't go up to people like, what are you registered? Because I don't care what you're registered. It doesn't affect how you're going to treat me. I judge person by person.
Yeah. All right. So this is an interview that was done by, I don't know this person's name.
Oh, I know. No, I'm going to say this. Sorry, this one comment. You know who, and let me see if I can, NK. I hate them both too. So that's why I wrote someone in. I was like, I'm not voting for either one of these fuckers. I'm just going to write in someone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew. God.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. So this is someone from Status Quo. I don't know his name, but he's interviewing some more people in the East Palestine area, and they're talking about the fact that all these animals are dying.
Yeah, so trigger warning. I know there are a few vegans that tune in regularly, so just trigger warning. This is super sad about animals.
On a side note, though, people do tend to get their tensions raised when animals get harmed and died. So
oh my god!
Maybe this will wake more people up to how effed up this all is, right?
It's a really good point.
So the train derailed on Friday, February 3rd, and then
what the hell?
February 5th, which was Sunday, we started noticing
Can you hear anything?
stream.
Yeah.
So I, took pictures and posted to Facebook because other people needed to know that. There's a lot of people in this area that have livestock that use the creek water to, water horses or cows, whatever. So, it was very important that everyone became aware not to use the water. But yeah, we continued to see dead fish. Just a couple of days ago, there was a whole pile of them, like a school almost. I think with some of the rain yesterday, I know we didn't get a lot of rain, but I think some of that kind of washed downstream.
Have either of you experienced anything since this all has kind of begun?
I haven't really noticed anything. I've kind of woke up with a couple bloody noses. I mean, that's kind of normal for me, like when the weather starts to get nice, and we've had some really unusually warm weather for Ohio. So I don't want to say that it's not from the train, but I can't say that it is. I will say Monday when they did the controlled burn, I did wake up about 2 o'clock and I could taste it. It was like almost hard to describe it, like a sweet metallic taste almost.
Mm-hmm. And you, to be clear, they did not tell you that you needed to evacuate for that?
No, we are roughly 3 miles outside of the ground zero.
And you were inside of your home and you could taste it in the middle.
I woke up around 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
The reason she could taste it mostly,
this
crick was just putting off a horrendous odor.
And
it was blue for a while. It was blue up to a week. A real blue cast to it.
Probably for about a week after, you could really smell it.
Mm-hmm.
More so at night, I think, when the winds shifted and it was blowing more towards the house. But yeah, we could really, really smell anytime you got close to the creek or went over the bridge.
Imagine that, 3 miles out, indoors, and still being affected. And I can't remember if we showed it last week. I don't think we showed the clip, but there was Status Quo, say what you will, but they've been doing excellent reporting. This gentleman, I don't know his name either, but yeah, he's been on site for like
he's been
what,
traveling
weeks?
around. He actually, I believe he was the one who. I don't think we have the video on hand right now, but you can easily find it. Who, like, somehow knew exactly where Mike DeWine was.
Yes.
And went right up to him by the house, and then called him out on the lie. And Mike DeWine just like walked away.
Yeah, that was him.
These people are just not used to ever being challenged, like in a real, authentic, genuine way. So when they are, their brains break. It is wild.
And one of the things, that I found so, so bothersome, there's a million, but there was this woman who was saying that her son needed to go to the emergency room because he has bad asthma. It was like his breathing was stopping. It was while he was sleeping, and it was bad. And she literally thought he was going to die. So she took him to the ER, and they told her he needed to take a decontamination shower before he could stay in that ER and get seen. So what they wanted her to do was take the little boy back to their home that was causing him this reaction, put him in a decontamination shower, which involves some kind of things you pour on him, because more chemicals obviously would be the best thing, and then bring him back if he did okay with that. So, and of course, then get charged for the ER visit. And the thing is, nobody knows what's going to happen. Like that one guy was saying, this is the ingredient in Agent Orange. You're talking 20 years down the line, these people may have serious health issues.
Yeah. And so there, sorry, I think I went in and out. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I was like, did I stun you with my analysis? Where'd you go? Oh no, I lost you again.
God. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Hopefully my connection gets better. I wanted to bring forth talking about, the amount of toxins that are in the air, that are in the water, that's killing animals, it's killing fish, that's giving people straight up health problems. I just want to also make sure it's clear that the water testing that they initially used was funded by the rail company itself.
Yeah.
And
very reliable,
so
I'm
this
sure.
just really gets Russian testing. Of course, the testing that Ohio authorities relied on to declare the municipal water in East Palestine safe to drink after disastrous train derailment was funded by the railroad operator itself and did not initially comply with federal standards. Governor DeWine on Wednesday afternoon announced that new testing from 5 wells that supply the town's drinking water showed no evidence of contamination for a Norfolk Southern freight train. Can I just call them the fuckers? The fuck Southern freight train loaded with tons of hazardous materials. With these test results, Ohio get away, Ad. I don't care about you. With these test results, Ohio EPA is confident that the municipal water is safe to drink. That's what DeWine said. On its website about the derailment, Ohio Environmental Protection Agency links only to railroad-funded preliminary test results, which it said so far confirmed that there is no indication of risk to East Palestine public water customers. The Columbiana County General Health District separately sampled East Palestine's public water system last week. As of Friday, the county's testing results have not been made public. Laura Froust, the public information official for the County General Health District told HuffPost it did not receive preliminary results of his stamping from the lab until about 5 p.m. Wednesday, approximately 2 hours after the governor's office sent out its water quality update. Yeah.
I really, God,
so,
I hope people aren't believing this. That's my fear. I hope people aren't saying, well, the government said it's okay to drink the water now and doing it. God, I hope not. Because, I've seen videos of the water being brown. I've seen it of being white, like not clear with a little tint, like white. Insane. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not releasing their results, not sus.
No, not at all. I don't know. And again, this was a few days ago, so maybe they did now. But at this point, it doesn't. I mean, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that Mike DeWine gave the updates, and then then it was done afterward, right? He already gave the updates, and so that is the official word. And so I'm sure there were a lot of people who went out and drank the water afterwards. And so, yeah, this is
because something, and I talked a little bit about this last week, but something that I think so many people lose track of is the fact that all of this comes down to money for the people too, not just the corporations. Like, these people don't feel safe to go home, but they can't afford a hotel. They
can't do their laundry.
They can't do their laundry. They can't afford
Take
to
a
always
shower.
buy bottled water. These are real people and real issues. There are people who are going to become unhoused because they are scared to go back home and they can't afford a hotel. There are people going into medical debt because they dare see a doctor for some reaction they're having. There are people whose symptoms are going to be exacerbated because they're too scared of getting medical debt and too scared then to go to the doctor. Like, this has so many ramifications, not just literal, health-wise and such, but monetarily, people are in a hostage situation. They are being told, you need to either go home and suck it up, literally, or pay for a hotel. Like, whatever. Choice is yours. And it's not a choice.
No. This is a video of just some of the water that is what it looks like when they pour water out of their faucet. And so, yeah.
This is our water.
This is what they're saying. This is our water. This is what they told us to do. Is just to run it a little bit.
Pipes clear out. They had to turn it off.
Clear, and it is.
It'll
I mean,
be
if
fine.
you see this,
Just
it's
keep
just
running
very
it.
dark water. Like, it
It'll
looks
be
practically like the shade of coffee almost.
But Andrew, here's the thing: the governor just announced the water is safe to drink. Okay, forget about the way it looks. It looks like chocolate milk, but he said it's safe to drink. He didn't even say
Definitely doesn't taste like chocolate milk. Yeah.
What's that?
Definitely doesn't taste like chocolate milk, I'm sure.
No. And I mean, for a while they were saying boil it first. Fucker's not even saying boil it. He's like, it's cool.
Just take it straight. Yeah.
So disgusting. And I don't know if you were going to show this. I don't know if it was in our queue, but I believe it was you who put in our chat that 35,000 animals in East Palestine have now died this month. 35,000. So this is, fish, birds, livestock. There was one girl who had a video. It was like a TikTok. She put her camera in the air, and there were all these birds dropping out of the freaking sky. It was terrifying. And I think that's one of the scariest things about this is because so many pollutants in the air you cannot see.
Yes. Let's see. Was there anything? Oh, should we show the Pete video?
No, we don't have to because now he went and everyone's lives are better.
Yeah, he did go. All right. Yeah. So what is next? What should we talk about next?
Well, I would like to address my favorite person ever, Miss Elizabeth Warren.
Yes.
I love her. You guys know I love her. I love her as much as I love Hillary Clinton. That's how much I love her. Are you whooping like her? Yeah, so Warren came out with another gem.
Yeah, this
it's pretty often she does, but this was particularly amazing.
This is like, it's a continuation of her saying that we just need to get the military to have more green energy.
Yeah, it was like, when she was running for president and she said like essentially like more green nukes.
In the 1990s, America had 51 major contractors bidding for defense work. Today, there are only 5 massive companies remaining. Defense contracting should be reworked to break up the massive contracts awarded to the big guys and create opportunities for firms of all sizes.
So this is her trying to sound pro-labor. The MIC is too powerful because there's only 5 companies. So I am so pro-labor that I'm saying the MIC should actually venture out and have more than just 5 companies killing people, okay? That is what you call pro-labor. She's a fucking hero.
Yeah, we just gotta go back to having more competition when it comes to defense contractors, and that will solve the prominent issue.
How many people did you kill this month? Well, we killed more. We won, or does it go the other way around? I don't know, but that is like the most like clueless tweet when politicians do that. Like, look how pro-labor I am. Watch this tweet. And God damn, defense budget. Please stop saying defense. It's not defense. We're not defending ourselves from anything at all. We wouldn't even be defending ourselves if other people were, doing to us what our own country is doing to us. There is no defense. It's a murder budget.
Yes. All right. Well. Was there anything else we need to show? I'm trying to think.
I don't think so. Well, yeah, I have a couple announcements, wait. We got to show that Kim Iverson tweet because that.
Oh.
And I know people on Real Progressives are definitely really going to want to dig into this.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what Kim Iverson has to say.
This was bombed. I've done a few shows with her and she's had some bad tweets, but wow.
Well, we are going to have to address part of this tweet here because I know some of the MMT people are not going to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll get to the economic side after.
I'm not pro-Russia. Yeah, not pro-Russia. I'm not pro-Ukraine.
You're not showing it, Cooper.
No. All right. I'm not pro-Russia. I'm not pro-Ukraine. I'm an American. My only concerns are how tax dollars are spent and the decisions made being on behalf of Americans. I'm pro-peaceful resolution in a conflict I believe the U.S. helped instigate.
Okay, so can we just highlight, first of all, how she says, my only concern. My only concern. So you can leave that up, Andrew. So I have a really big problem with that, because even though she thinks tax dollars do fund spending, that aside, the fact that that is your only concern is your money, not that people are being terrorized, that people are being blown to bits, that nukes are getting dropped, that drones are everywhere, that people are suffering, that people are made to be refugees, that people are watching their loved ones, people are having to leave their homes. I mean, all of these things, that is not your concern. Your only concern is something that that what you believe involves you. That's fucking gross. It's gross. Not only is it untrue, it's gross. That is not a humanitarian point of view. Not that she said she is one, but that is not. What?
No, she's not a humanitarian.
No,
Sorry.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
I know. I just laughed because it's like, yeah, no, no.
Anti-war should be like
Sorry.
humanitarian. Anti-war should be peace. I never hear so many of these people say the word peace when they talk about being anti-war. That is so not okay, because you are making it about yourself, and it's not. It's about other people.
She made it about herself. Whoa.
Do what?
Sorry. She made it about herself. Oh my wit! Wow. That's a first for her. Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh my god. And I kind of feel like an asshole because she comes in the show sometimes, and I've done a few shows with her, but I'm not gonna not comment on something just because I've done shows with her and stuff. Like, this is bad. Like, this is bad. You're literally saying your only issue is your money. And what's worse than this tweet is the number of people who liked it. That's worse. Because not only are they completely misinformed about how the monetary system works, they also think it's okay to only have the issue of their involvement. What's that saying?
Only concern debunked. No tax dollars used for wars. Now what, Kim? Now what?
Looks like Real Progressive's got a super chat. What's that say?
At Status Coup, we call the new guy Status Lou. Oh, okay. Is that his name? I'm sorry. Obviously, Lou? Status isn't, but is Lou his name, or is that just like?
Yo, that's a badass name. Hi, I'm Status Lou.
Yeah,
that's kind of badass. That's like a rapper name, Status Lou.
John B says Kim must have miswrote. I don't think she really meant it that way. Joy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold my tongue on that.
I don't know about that, because I looked through and she did not clarify. I usually look to see if there's some kind of clarification afterwards. Like, I understand some people are confusing this and I worded it wrong, or there was not. So I think. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And I saw no attempt at a clarification afterward. So yeah, I'm not gonna, unless she comes out and says I misworded something, and I do not feel that is the only issue. then I'm going to take it how it reads. I definitely believe in accountability, especially with, we do with, politicians. I also do with YouTubers, and everyone should. And that tweet was disgusting, quite frankly. And, you know, unless and until she, clarifies it, if she didn't mean it that way, then I'm going to
Yeah.
stand by my opinion.
No, I think that's a really good point that, like he says, I think Kim is very articulate. She knew what she was saying. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's very careful with her words when she needs to be.
I mean, she's very intelligent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I agree, Lucky. I think she's, I think the fact that it was up there so long and she still never reneged, I'm going to go with what she said. I think I have two upcoming things. Oh, what was I going to say? Can you show the 1881A slide?
Sure.
So I like to show this all the time because it's super important. Whenever you see people talking about East Palestine, please, please, please tell them to look up 1881A. You're probably sick of me talking about it, but essentially there's a place called Libby in Montana who had asbestos in the air, and they got what people would consider Medicare for all, single payer, because of it in their town, because of the risk. And that happened years ago, and it's still in place. Technically, Biden could have invoked it as during the pandemic because we were all at risk then. And he did not, of course, but he can actually enact it immediately, literally right now, with the stroke of a pen for those in East Palestine and the surroundings. So think about, how Biden has the ability to give these people immediate, like right now, these people can have 100% free coverage of everything right now. And most of them have no idea. And I've been sending this information to like literally every YouTuber, and Status Quo is the only one who has been talking about it. I lied. Crystal Ball posted about it. But Crystal and Jordan, or Status Quo, those are the only two places out of all the media. Nobody else is fucking responding. So, and it is so important that the people of East Palestine know this is an option. Call your governor. Call the town hall.
Maybe just an ask could be like, maybe take one video that you decide to do criticizing both Jordan and Crystal, and instead maybe talk about 1881A. That could be other people who are out doing podcasts, right? Like, actually just talk about 1881A if you're thinking about doing a video criticizing,
right?
Jordan
Maybe
and Crystal.
Instead of
imagine
showing other YouTubers and making fun of them, how about
maybe
you talk about some of the things that they're talking about that are really important?
And you know what? Do it better.
Exactly. Right? Like, show them how. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Show them how it's done. We don't know how you think it's done because you never do it, but let's show them how it's done. So there are two big things coming up for me. Oh, and again, I do apologize, guys. One guest canceled. I'm not sure. I think the other one was having technical difficulties. I don't know, but unfortunately that does happen when you have people, scheduled who have never been on camera before and never done anything like this before. That can happen. So unfortunately, but I will try to get a few other people in the future. But I still had a great time tonight and think it was a really great discussion. So Andrew, what do you have coming up?
So not too much coming up, but I wanted to highlight something that I forgot to highlight before. The congressman who represents East Palestine, Ohio, took 18,000 from Norfolk Southern. And then there was a video which I would definitely check out on More Perfect Union, where he's asked about this and he claims it's politics, and and it's like, okay, seriously, guy, right? So just more
You're
to
right.
show
It is
how
politics.
this is.
That's the fucking problem.
That's the issue, yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as far as what's that saying?
I'm starting to feel like maybe Andrew is salty about the same shit I am salty about by some of these comments. Yeah. I mean, I try not to really be too public about it, but it's just like, I feel like people's brains are breaking and everybody's just kind of going, in this Twitter left space, just cultish behavior. It's just ruining everything, and it's distracting us from actual issues that need to be talked about. And so, yeah, I am pretty upset. I'm annoyed about it, honestly, and I hate being in this space, right? The only reason why I'm really on Twitter right now is because it's the best way to communicate different things that we're going to be doing with this show. But I really am not learning anything about being on Twitter anymore, unless I'm really looking at stuff now. And it's really, I'm kind of just disgusted by all of it, if we're being honest.
I mean, I've been doing a show almost 6 years, and I have never actually been, quite honestly, ashamed to be lumped into the term indie media with some people who I just find gross. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. I feel like, indie media is a pejorative now. And it makes me sad because I've always loved doing my show and I take a lot of pride in my show. And, but unfortunately the term indie media does lump me in with some people that I don't want to be lumped in with. So yeah, that sucks. But I mean, I still, gotta keep going because it's what I love. But yeah, so you guys see on the screen, I do have a Patreon. I really, 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 really need some new Patreons, like bad. You can subscribe for as little as $3 a month. It helps me with my streaming equipment. It helps me with my blind accessibility subscriptions that I actually have to pay for. And I am looking to going to the Peace in Ukraine rally March 18th in DC. And I do need more patrons to be able to afford the bus tickets, honestly. So that certainly helps me with things. Also, Andrew, can you show tomorrow's tweet storm?
Yes. Oh, there's a big ass plane here. All right, so tweet storm. We got
Tomorrow.
Tweet Storm Tuesday. Yep,
Tweet Storm Tuesday. TST, baby. So if you are on Twitter, pretty please do our tweet storm. This is a bunch of us, me, Vegan, Lucky, Stever, like a bunch of us, Applejack. We are doing a tweet storm. We want everyone to join as a call to action. Over 14 million with no income or low income are losing their SNAP benefits. That includes food, housing, healthcare. This is bad, and nobody's talking about it. So we need to try and make this shit trend. I've been posting about it nonstop. It is getting absolutely no traction. We need people to talk about this, because what's going to happen is more devastation, more trauma, more sickness, more hunger, more people unhoused, and more death. So we need people to say, don't cut these people's fucking benefits off.
And this is happening when prices are continuing to rise at the grocery store too, right?
Exactly.
The maximum you have, what, is $200 a month? That's the maximum amount of EBT I believe you can have a month, and the buying power of that.
So imagine being a single mother of 4 working 2 jobs, and now you have no benefits.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to make more people unhoused and, and hungry and without healthcare. And I mean, this is devastating. And people need to step the fuck up, stop being distracted by the shiny objects, and talk about things that are really, we are watching eugenics of the poor, and people are very focused on, infighting and drama and things like that. And honestly, there is no movement right now of anything, and there's not going to be unless and until people start actually talking about the issues that matter. And an issue that matters is taking care of humanity and making sure that people have their basic human needs met. And these things being taken away is going to cause a lot more suffering and death. And it's going to be a lot easier for us to call attention to it now than when it stops. And then being like, oh, sorry, everyone, you have to reapply. And then there's this interim, and there's this hiatus between when they're on and off. And it becomes this huge legislative issue where there's delays and stuff. No, we need to stand up now before these people get cut off so they can extend it. This is our responsibility. We say we care about these things. Let's prove it. So Twitter tomorrow, 9 a.m. PST, noon EST, let's go. Tweet storm. Hashtag save. What are the ones? Save. I can't read what it says.
Save Snap.
Snap. Save Snap.
And make Snap great again. And to make Snap great again.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So we're doing that tomorrow. Please, please, please make it trend. Also, please remember, putting it in comments does not make it trend. It has to be its own posts. If you're going to share a post, hashtag it. If you're going to create a post, hashtag it. Don't put it in comments. You could put 100 things in comments. It doesn't make it trend. We need actual separate posts each time. So thank you. And please, that is on my Twitter. Please pimp that out. We need as many tweets as possible. Jimmy Dore trends every fucking day. Can we just please make this trend? Please. Also, can you put up the meme for, I always call it a meme, and Ricky Rants fucking hates it, the graphic for Thursday. It's a meme to me. I can't fucking make this shit. It's the same things to me. The graphic for Thursday. So, and tomorrow I am doing something very exciting that I am not sharing, but I will be going live at 8 a.m. Eastern if anyone is actually up. It will be a surprise if I actually am. But yeah, I'm doing something kind of risque tomorrow morning. So, but it's on the down low until tomorrow morning. So this is, where is here? Yeah. Okay. So shout out to Steve Cutler, who made this for me on my channel, Savage Joy Marie Man. Which please subscribe. YouTube just cut off 3,000 of my subscribers. Please subscribe to And My Rock Fan. It's like I can't even monetize right now because they took away over 3,000 of my subscribers. So I definitely am losing, money, little money I do actually get. So please subscribe. Thursday on my channel, my YouTube and Rockfin, I am doing a Musicians for Mutual Aid. I do have room for more musicians. Anyone who would like to join, please DM me on Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, try to DM me on Facebook or DM Andrew. I don't know. But yeah, my DMs are open. I have 6 musicians right now, and I'm so excited because rapper / actor, Emmy nominated Tones just signed on. He is literally on tour right now, but he is still going to come join Thursday to spit some songs to help us raise some money for people in need. And that warms my heart because a lot of people I reach out to don't have the time to do it. So if someone on tour is coming, that's so exciting. I just want to jump through the freaking screen and give him a huge hug. He's amazing. He is so fucking good. And yeah, I love hip hop. I know I'm like a white punk rock chick, but I fucking love hip hop. I mean, I love to dance. But anyway, so that is so exciting. So Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So looking forward to that. But yeah, despite me going live tomorrow and Thursday, otherwise we will see you guys back Monday. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll read the comments when I can use my thingy after the show. Applejack, let me tell you something, okay? I have a Patreon. Patreon, boo. Patreon. As little as $3 a month.
All right, everybody.
Bye. Much love.